one of the most hyped Seikos in the recent years. We are looking at the SSK001, the new Seiko 5 GMT. I just decided to buy the watch and spend some time with it in person and just share my own opinion with you. So, let's get to it. One thing to understand about this release is that the hype that's around this watch is not about the watch itself, because the watch is nothing new. We're not looking at a whole new design. We're looking at a very familiar design by Seiko, resembling the SRPD, which is again also based on the SKX. So actually a lot of people hate the new design because of the fact that they feel that it's kind of ripping off the SKX form, but not having those specifications of the SKX. But that's not the full story here. The case is identical to the SRPD with a combination of brushed and polished finishing, where you find radial brushed finishing on the top of the lugs with highly polished beveled edges between the front and the side of the case. Just be aware that it's not as finely done as I've seen on some higher end pieces, but kind of expected from an entry-level sports watch by Seiko. Similar to the SKX and the SRPD line, the watch does have a thicker profile of 13.6 millimeters, especially with that protruding bottom crystal. But fortunately, the lug-to-lug of 46 millimeters, in addition to having the lugs and the case curving downwards on the wrist, almost hugging the wrist, the 42.5mm case sits more like a 40mm case. Covering the dial, you have a flat hardlex crystal, but the crystal being outwardly beveled just adds a slight visual depth into the dial. Also, when looking from above, an additional reflective ring around the outer edge of the dial just adds a nice visual touch. Above the date, you have a small magnification which has a mixed reaction from collectors. I personally don't have any problem with it because I feel that it's one of those things that gives this watch a slightly different characteristic from the rest of the SRPD line. Underneath the crystal, you'll find a soft looking matte, almost dark gray dial. You've got black and gray 24-hour bi-directional friction-based bezel covered in hardlex, which design-wise makes the GMT model stand out by giving it a more premium look. You also have highly luminous hands and markers, with Seiko's Lume Bright applied generously, giving it the traditional Seiko sports watch glow that's well known to beat the lume of even some of the Swiss brands. You have a large red GMT hand for improved visibility and legibility, applied circular and syringe indices, and the ability to track up to 3 time zones with an additional hour track on the inner bezel. The caliber 4R34 is predicted to act as the next NH35 movement that we see up to this day in so many of the budget-friendly micro-brand watches. As expected, it's not the most decorated movements from Seiko, but is built like a tool and appears visually similar to the caliber 4R36 found in the other Seiko 5 sports models. But coming up with a GMT function, this new automatic movement is a game changer, something that the watch community is really excited about. The in-house 4R34 caliber does come with both hacking and hand winding feature, running at 21,600 vibrations per hour with a power reserve of 41 hours. So definitely not the most optimal in terms of power reserve. Just like the SRPD, you have a large crown protected by crown guards on both sides. And with only 100 meters of water resistance, the watch doesn't come with a screw down crown, which is definitely something that the collectors are annoyed about, especially considering that you can get better water resistance rating from micro brands at similar price points. Now, if this is your first GMT watch, it's actually very easy to operate. You have 2 crown positions. Pulling the crown out to the first position will allow you to adjust the date and the GMT hand in isolation. To adjust the date, pull out the crown in the first position and turn the crown anti-clockwise. To adjust the GMT hand, keeping the crown also in the first position, simply turn the crown clockwise. Pulling the crown out in the second position allows you to adjust the minute hand, but it will affect all of the other hands as well. So you'll need to go back to the first position and readjust the GMT hand if needed. And this is the main difference between an office GMT versus a true GMT. In an office GMT such as this, adjusting the time will also affect the GMT hand, whereas in a true GMT, you won't have to deal with that. Basically, an office GMT is ideal for someone that stays in a fixed location but needs to keep track of multiple time zones. A true GMT or travel GMT is adjusted much more accurately and easily on the go for someone that's constantly traveling. With an office GMT, because all of the hands move simultaneously when adjusting the time, it can get a bit time consuming to adjust the GMT hands accurately. And in this regard, I feel that the 41 hours of power reserve are not particularly helpful. When it comes to the bracelet, finally Seiko has heard our cries. I mean, have you ever seen a single YouTube video where the reviewer is actually a fan of the stock bracelet? I mean, it's not that much better, but slightly better than the SKX. We have a much more premium feeling 22mm wide 5-row stainless steel bracelet with mixed polished and satin finishing, and surprisingly coming with solid links and end links, along with 4 micro adjustments and an average tri-fold push button release clasp with a secure lock. Whether you're a Seiko fan or not, you still have to understand that this movement is a game changer, and soon you'll be able to get your hands on affordable microband watches with hopefully better specifications than this one. But also, in my opinion, this new release by the brand is a way of telling the world that Seiko is still the king of value for money watches. With everything that you see in this watch, from the design aspect, the wearability, the finishing, the premium bracelet, and the new GMT movement, the $475 price point doesn't seem too bad. I personally think that this is the ultimate good-looking budget tool watch from Seiko. A complete no-nonsense watch with a solid and rugged form factor, but at the same time handsome enough to be dressed up. Yeah, I do think it's a decent gateway into the world of GMT movements. A lot of people are comparing the new Seiko 5s to the old school Seiko 5s and Seikos from the 90s and 2000s, where the brand offered all of these unique entry-level spec monsters at really affordable prices. Seiko is widening the gap between their entry-level models, their mid-level, and their high-end models, with their newer affordable models retailing at $200 and their higher end models going as high as $7,000. And I'm not even talking about Grand Seiko or Creedor, which operate at a whole different dimension. But because of this gap, you start to see compromises in their entry-level pieces. This is why they're dialing back down on the water resistance rating and the power reserve and the finishing. They're not going to give you a screw-down crown and sapphire crystal at their entry-level pieces, because in that case, why would you aspire to own their higher-end models? But yeah, I do understand. From specification perspective alone, you can get better specs at similar price points, especially when looking at micro brands. But if you are considering this watch, you're considering it because it's a Seiko. Personally, I do like the watch, but it doesn't stand out in the same way that SKX did. Back in the day, every Seiko had its own characteristic. Now they're just using the same silhouette and just coming up with different dial colors. That exclusivity is kind of dying with Seiko, especially at their entry-level pieces. So that's something that I'm not really happy about, but I am excited about what micro brands come up with. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell and the like button, and let me know in the comment section, what do you think about the new release? Are you a fan of the new GMT watch, or are you planning to wait for the micro brands? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.